Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to create an aware test. So I've logged into Eduphoria. I'm going to come to aware. I'm going to look on my left hand side and go to assessments. And I don't have any assessments here, so I'm going to come down and create a new teacher assessment or a new teacher test. When I click on that, I have the option of create a quick test key, create a new blank test, copy an existing test, or copy an item bank test. So we don't have any existing test right now. What I'm going to do is create an item or create a new blank test. Going to click that, come down to the far right hand corner and click next. Then I'm going to give my test a title. I'm going to call mine sample test, but you could call it third grade, first through third week test, or fourth grade, 6-week test, whatever you're going to call it. So I'm going to come to my grade level, and the first I'm going to show you is I'm going to do 6th grade. Come next. I'm going to pick my curriculum. These are the TEKs that are going to be tied to this test. So I'm going to choose middle school math, 6th grade, and next. Tells me I'm done. I'm going to click finish. Here, I'm going to make sure I have the name of the test. It's teacher test, it's math, it's 6th grade. Do not worry about your performance values. I will put those in according to the STAR test passing standards. I'm going to go to curriculum. If I were going to give an assessment that pulled from last year's 5th grade, maybe I'm making sure the kids came to 6th grade knowing math, and I want to put some 5th grade math questions on there also, I could actually add a course. I could come here, I could find 5th grade math, and I could click add, and it would add it to the TEKs. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave 6th grade. I'm going to test 6th grade. So then I have questions. I'm going to come here. I have a blank slate. There are 2 ways you can get questions onto this test. One is you can add a question yourself. If you have a bell ringer you've been using every day and you like it, the kids really aren't doing well on it, and you want to put it on this test, you could click add a test question. It's going to give you an option of selected response, numeric response, constructed response, or resource. Resource would be like if I were going to put a graph in or a picture that went along with the question. Constructed response, I urge you to stay away from. The reason being, constructed response requires you to log into each and every child's test and put the answer. So you don't want to do that unless you have lots and lots of free time. Then you have numerical response. If you want them to use a number, then you would do that. Or if you want selected response, and I'm just going to go with selected response. Then it's going to bring it up, and I'm going to get to write whatever I want to hear as the question. And it does help you edit it. All right, so then I can come here and I'm going to put my actual answers in. And I'm going to select the one that is correct in here. If I don't want 4 answer choices, I can get rid of it just by clicking this X. Are you sure you want to remove it? Yes. Now I only have 3 answer choices. You can do that all the way with just having 2 answer choices if you so choose. When I am done with writing the question, you have options. Don't bother with the spacing. I will take care of all of that. The standards, you have to decide, okay, what standard this was. What TEK did you teach? So it was 1A. You can pull down, you'll see all of them here. It was applying math problems in everyday life. So I'm going to double click that one. And it's going to put it up here in my standard. Then I'm going to click finish. So I've added this question. If I decide that later I need to edit it and I want to change Sarah's name or change the amount or whatever I want, I can come here to the pencil and I will be able to edit the question. I can add another answer choice if I want to by clicking the green plus sign, and I can add multiple answer choices. So I'm done here. Now, the rest of the questions I want to come from an item bank that's already built into Aware. So I'm going to come up to Search Item Bank, and I am going to do the blue pull down. I'm going to find the TEK that I taught. Let's say that I taught 2D, order rational numbers. Here are my banks. I'm going to use all the banks, and let me tell you what they are. We have the TEKS bank. That is, if you're a veteran teacher and you've heard of WebCat, this is the old WebCat bank. These questions were written by teachers, so sometimes you have to make sure that the answers are correct, but they are written by teachers over the years, and they have been vetted now by service centers and approved by service centers, but sometimes they're still not all correct. Then you have the TEKS resource system. This is your curriculum answer bank. These are questions that come from the actual curriculum. You have your STAR test maker item bank. This is the one that I'm using for your quarterly assessments. You can use it too. This test item bank was written by Pearson and by TEA in conjunction with both of them. And then you have your STAR release test items. So I'm going to leave it as all. I'm going to pick my language as English, and I'm going to search. It's going to bring up all these answer banks. So here's the TEKS resource. This is my curriculum. Here you see constructed response. Again, stay away from that one unless you want to go into every child and put those answers in. This is what it looks like. You have to go in and put the answer in. If I want to see what the rest of these look like, I could just click on these blue down arrows. It'll pull them up and I'll be able to see them. Let's say I like this one. I can click the plus sign over here and it will throw it into my answer document, my sheet for me, my test, which is below here. So I'm going to do add, subtract, multiply. And here it starts with STAR release test items, TEKS resource, curriculum items, STAR test maker. And you'll see here they're divided out over here. DOK 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 being the hardest. These go with Bloom's taxonomy. And you'll see these over here, the learning standards is 6.3D, but also 1A, 1F. That means it's putting in a process standard and a TEK. And I try to choose those as much as possible. So I like this one. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to see if I can find one that says numerical response. Here we go. This one I don't mind choosing because they're going to be able to do a grid on the answer document and it will automatically put it in here for me. So I like this question. I'm going to put it here. Let's say I'm doing a supporting standard. You'll want more readiness test questions than you will supporting standards. And the S is here, the R is for readiness. So here are some supporting standards. This one, I like it, so I'm going to put it in. All right, so when I'm done, I can hit close, and here is my test. When you're done creating your test, you're going to come up here to the top right-hand side and click Share. You're going to type my name in, and it's Wendi Russell, or you can put my email either way and share it with me. You're going to hit search, and it's going to tell you it's been shared. You can also put your team members there and share it with all of your team members if you want to, so they can have the test. Now, you're not ever going to test from this test if it's a 3-week, a 6-week, or a quarterly test. If you create your own tests, you can test from this. But for our purposes for 3, 6, and 9, you're creating the 3 and the 6. You're going to share it with me, and it's going to come to me, and I am going to take it from my side, download it, upload it into the district side, and then I'm going to print out your answer documents and the test and send it to you. I will space this out so that there's more room for writing. I like it when kids have room to show their work. There's not much space here, so I will add more spaces so they'll have room to show their work even. So you're done. But let's say that you want to create a test for reading. It's a little bit different. You're going to create a new blank test. Next, I'm going to do sample reading. And I'll just stay with 6th grade to show you. And I'm going to show you this because it does look a little bit different. You're going to select your curriculum. So I'm doing 6th grade English Language Arts. Going to go finish. Not going to worry about that. It's all correct. 6th grade curriculum. Going to come to questions. Don't have anything. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky for ELA teachers because there are so many stories in here. So I'm going to search my TEAC. And let's say I have been focusing on reading comprehension of fiction. And again, I have all of my banks. I'm going to search. But here I'm going to show you where the resources are so you can actually see what stories there are. So here's my TEAC's resource system. This is the curriculum. This is the TEAC's bank. This is Old WebCat. This is the STAR Test Maker. This one was created by Pearson and TEA. This is the one that I'm going to use. If I want to see the question, I can go here. But I have no idea what that is. If I click on this story here, it'll bring it up and show me the story is A Snowy Day. All right, so let's say I like this story, but I want to know what questions are attached to this story. So I'm not just picking a story with one question, because then you're going to have multiple stories with questions, if that makes sense. So to find out, what I normally do is go through here and I pick a couple of stories. So I'll come down here, still a snowy day, but I don't want my whole test to be 6.6. I want my test to be lots of different peaks. So here's another story, Just Another Day. So I have a snowy day and Just Another Day. So I'm going to take those, and I can go through here and pick out more stories if I want. A Very Bad Day. So I'm going to close this before I pick any TEACs at all. I can come over here to Resources, search my resources. And in this bar, I can type in any part of that story. So I'm going to do Very Bad Day. I just have to type in Very Bad. It's going to pull up any story that has the title Very Bad in it. Here's A Very Bad Day. Now I can see this is the story, has a graphic, has your story. These are all the TEACs associated with that story. So if I wanted to do a 10-question test, I could do it all from just this one story. Here's 13, 2B, 6, 2A, 6A. So there's lots of TEACs here, and I can go through here and I can open them all up. And the reason I start at the bottom is because it pops them open. So if you start at the top and you're opening them up, you're going to have to keep scrolling down, where if I start at the bottom, I can just quickly go through here and open them. So I see these, I can pick, I don't have to pick the story because it's automatically going to put the story with the first question that you choose. So let's say I like this one. And I definitely like this one. It's asking them to think. Here is 3 and 4, asking about how does the author show her thoughts. That's a real hard one. So I can go through here. Here's a summary. Definitely want a summary. Some of them will have vocabulary. When did she first enter the classroom? That's just basic recall, and you see it's a 1. You come down here. Here's a vocabulary word. Another one in. So I'm just going to go through here and pick some questions. Then I'm going to, if I wanted to put another story in, I could. There were a lot of them that had day in the title, so I'm just going to search the word day and see how many stories there are for that title. Okay, so we have a different kind of winner, a special day. That's a paired selection. Then we have just a special day. My first day, this is editing, and you'll have to be doing some editing tests. So this is a great one to do. This is what it looks like, and they have to go in and find the answers to the editing questions. So those of you that are creating editing tests, they are here, and they do tell you it's editing in the title, my first day, and in parentheses it's editing, just so you know that. Sarah Day O'Connor. So any story that has the word day is going to come up, and I can start opening them up and selecting them if I want to put another story into my test. Let's say I'm just going to give the first 3-week test over one story. So I'm done. Again, you're going to go to share and put my name in, going to search it. It's going to send it to me. Now I have the test. You don't do anything else. You're done. I take care of the rest. Hopefully this has been easy for you to understand. Please reach out if you have questions. Contact me, contact our instructional technologist, contact your principal. Don't hesitate. Your first test is due to me by September 5th. That's the Tuesday we come back after Labor Day. I will need it by 5 p.m. so that I can get it ready for that week's testing. So get in there, play with it. Let me know what I can do to support you and help you. Have a great day. Thank you.